Okay, starting up. What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? This is your boy Reg in the building as usual. Got my homeboy Try in the building as well.
What up? What up?
Alright. Before we get into this review, I have to give my rest in peace. I want to give a rest in peace to the legendary comedian Mr. John Witherspoon. Man, like this dude has been everything and shit like that. One of my favorite comedians and shit. Um, so he's from Detroit. From what I looked up, he got us started in stand up comedy and shit. Did some appearances on the Richard Pryor show, which was pretty much where he got his start, if I'm not mistaken. And he became friends with Richard Pryor, rest in peace to him. Robin Williams, rest in peace to him as well. David Letterman, Tim Reed, so on and shit. Then he done some television appearances. By the time he got to late '80s, he got a little bit more popular. He was in movies like
Reg, I'm coming right back, yo, because I'm still hearing a little bit of static.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. All right.
All right, give me
So
5 minutes. I'm coming right back.
okay, no doubt. All right. So with that being said, John Witherspoon he was in also some movies back in the late '80s like Hollywood Shuffle, which was very groundbreaking movie at that time. That Robert Townsend movie. He was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, movies like that. He did appearance on House Party, Five Heartbeats was and shit like that. But by the time he got to the mid '90s, give me one second. By the time he got to the mid '90s, that's when, excuse me about that. That's when like his popularity got more bigger and shit like that. When he was in, Friday, which was everyone knows what Friday is. The Ice Cube and Chris Tucker clip. He was pretty much in all the trilogy. He was also on the Wayans Brothers, one of my favorite sitcoms at that time. Very dope, funny sitcom. He played Pops. That's where I mostly got understood where he came from and shit like that too. Give me one quick second. Sorry about that. And so with that being said, he was also in the Wayans Brothers too. He played Pops. That's where I found out about John Witherspoon. And so over the years he's appeared on more stuff until 2005. That's when like he did the voice acting for Granddad in the Boondocks and shit like that too. Another dope classic show and shit, which they actually was in the middle of rebooting the series and shit. They were actually talking about rebooting the series, and so we'll see how that goes. I don't know what's the deal with that now and shit, but we'll definitely see how that goes. He also did some more stuff with Aaron McGruder, like he was in Black Jesus and shit like that. And if you guys also know John Witherspoon, he appeared on a lot of hip hop music videos and shit like that. Most notably, he appeared on Jay-Z's "I Just Wanna Love You, Give It to Me," LL Cool J's "Ain't Nobody" and stuff. So yeah, man. Rest in peace to John Witherspoon. He died in his home. I think he died in his sleep from what I looked up and shit. So yeah, man. John Witherspoon and shit. I'm just gonna text Try and say just text me when he's ready and stuff. Okay, yeah, Try said invite him back. Okay, I'm gonna do that shit. Alright, let me invite this nigga.
And that's how I felt too after working at Suge. Jermaine Dowell, I used to call him all the time, talking about them people at McDonald's and they hating attitude. They used to piss me the fuck off. And I was like, I can't do this. I knew all I needed was a semester. I wanted it bad.
Okay, so He's not there. Okay, well,
I took
I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm just gonna go on. And so the album that I'm going to do today is the Doors' second album, the Strange Days album, released in 1967 on Elektra Records. This is actually the,
to this lyric studies.
let's see, yeah, this is the 50th anniversary. Wait, yeah, the 50th and no, excuse me, the 40th anniversary remaster reissue edition, which includes two bonus tracks, which is pretty much takes of "People Are Strange" and "Love Me Two Times," basically. You guys definitely should know who the Doors are. I reviewed their first album. I reviewed their first album years ago, their self-titled first album and stuff like that, which was very groundbreaking, influential album when it comes to the whole psychedelic rock movement and shit like that. Because the Doors definitely. One thing about the Doors, they definitely had their own sound. They definitely had their own sound and whatnot. So that's one thing I've always fucked about with the Doors and shit. So yeah, and all that's laid upon their influence when it comes to like poetry and jazz and shit like that, because instead of like I said before, instead of a bass player, the Doors was definitely known to have like an organ and shit like that. Definitely play of courtesy of Mr. Ray himself. Rest in peace to Ray, and rest in peace to Jim Morrison. But enough of me rambling and shit. And again, I try again. I don't know what's going on with him. So enough of my rambling and whatnot. The members of the Doors include Jim Morrison on vocals and shit like that. On this album, he also does his hand on percussion and Moog. Okay, he also does percussion and the Moog synthesizer. Alright. Yo.
Yeah.
Alright. Everything good?
Yeah.
Alright, bad. Give me one quick, so I'm gonna add you back on.
Girl, listen to this.
Shit. I was just explaining just who the Doors are just now and stuff like that. Gave a tribute to John Witherspoon.
Right. Rest in peace to him.
Yes. Alright. You can't see me, right? You still can't see me, right? Can you see me? Hey yo, try.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
I know it didn't come up yet.
Alright, give me 1 second.
Like oh my god.
Alright.
How about now?
Okay.
Yes, I see you.
Okay. Alright, so the Doors consist of members Jim Morrison, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Greener, Ray Manzarek on organ and keyboards, Robbie on guitar, and John on drums. And they had a few bass guitar playing from Douglas LeBon, but not really too much. But just the first four members, they're like the best known members. And I know that you recently got into the Doors recently yourself too, right?
Yep. It's the first time I ever heard of the album. I saw the movie though. '91 with Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And watching that and how the Doors started and how he got addicted to the occult, the cult stuff and the sex and Meg Ryan playing his girlfriend and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the movie, but I didn't that was like on cable. I saw it and I didn't know who I'm not familiar with all of their music, but it's like the first album I heard from them.
Yeah, man. Pretty much the best thing to describe the Doors, man. Like I feel like calling them just psychedelic rock is somewhat. I mean, they're
Yeah,
psychedelic, but they had their own sound. Like, man, I don't even know how to fucking explain it. Like, it's dark, gothic rock, poetic shit. Like, you just have to
yeah,
listen to each album and shit, man. It's a different experience. That's all I'm gonna say and shit. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Because I'm just now just getting back to reviewing the albums because I'll have the first four albums. I need to get the last two, which I'm gonna get pretty soon. But
Right.
they never really have a bad album. That's all I'm gonna say. No
Okay.
bad albums between them. I will start off with the first album if I were you. Just most definitely.
What's the name of that one?
It's just a self-titled album.
Okay, okay.
Yes, it's a self-titled album and shit. And I know you've heard that song "Light My Fire." I know you heard that song.
Yes, of course, right.
Yeah, they did others. They did like other known songs. Like you heard you know the song Jay Z "To Take Over" song.
Yeah, that one.
They sampled
And
that.
when you're strange, that was in the Lost Boys movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah, like I said before, like they're definitely one of the best at their lane and shit like
right,
that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Shit. But yeah, so like I said, I reviewed their first album, classic album in my opinion and shit like that. After the release of the self-titled album, well, they were getting notoriety just for their wild antics on stage and shit, and their rebellious nature. So, what ended up happening was they, excuse me, they booked up appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, right? You guys
Right.
should know the Ed Sullivan Show. Y'all should know the Ed Sullivan Show and shit. And so they were scheduled to perform "Light My Fire," and Ed Sullivan wanted them to change the words to "Girl We Couldn't Get Much Higher" to "Girl We Couldn't Get Much Better" because obviously at that time you couldn't say "high" on TV. So they agreed to it at first, but then on like live television, Jim Morrison he said, "Girl We Couldn't Get Much Higher." He said the original line and shit. Ed Sullivan he basically banned them from the Ed Sullivan Show, his own show, and so he basically said, and I quote, "Hey man, we just did the Sullivan Show." So yeah, so they were just raising like a lot of notoriety at that time too. And while they were working on this album, they were very much influenced by the Beatles with the Sgt. Pepper album a little bit, which at that time that album was very groundbreaking at that time too. But I don't like when motherfuckers say that album invented psychedelic rock. I don't like that shit. But
Right.
that's another story for a different day. So with that being said, they were actually getting used to like the new technology around that time too. You know, with the addition of the bass player, they got the usage of the Moog synthesizer, and that synthesizer I've mentioned a lot of times on this channel, especially if you guys watch the Stevie Wonder reviews and whatnot. So, and that was actually new at that time too because that synthesizer was very much popular during like the 70s and shit like that. So they were like very ahead of their time using the Moog synthesizer at that time too. And so the majority of the songs that was written for this album was written when they basically formed the band and whatnot too. So like Moonlight Drive, that was actually the first song that they wrote that Jim Morrison wrote, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Love Me Two Times, I want to say Robbie wrote that one. So yeah, definitely the second album right here, released months after the debut album. So this is the album cover right here. It definitely has like street performance and whatnot. It has street performance and shit, you know. Yeah, like I low key thought that midget was. You remember that show Fantasy Island?
Yeah.
I low key thought that was that midget from Fantasy Island at one point. I mean,
Oh, did
dwarf
he tattoo?
tattoo. Yeah,
Oh
rest in
my
peace.
god.
Yeah, rest in peace to him and shit. So yeah, very dope, trippy album cover and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it was definitely like a street performance that was located in New York. So you got the band members right here and shit like that. And since I'm not gonna like read everything here because it's like the 40th anniversary, you know, they're just talking about the album and shit like that, giving their thoughts on the album, you know. So in case for all my Doors fanatics, definitely take advantage of the liner notes and shit like that. That's one thing I love about remastered and reissue edition when they interview motherfuckers about the albums and shit like that. Especially with the Michael Jackson history liner notes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Alright, so that's it for the liner notes. And Paul A. Rothschild, you know, he produced this whole album and shit. And the only two singles that was released off this album were People Are Strange and Love Me Two Times. So yeah, alright. So 10 tracks. You ready for this?
Yep.
Alright, so track number 1, we got is Strange Days, man. Nice way to begin this fucking album, man. Very nice way. It definitely has like a very addictive yet depressing synth that was courtesy of like the Moog synthesizer and shit like that. Um, I think like you know with this song and shit like that, I felt like he was describing the hippie culture, you know, at that time. And that's the thing with you know with his storytelling. It's just like his fucking storytelling is very unique. But I done some research and John Densmore he actually said that the meaning behind this song was the fact that Morrison he wrote this song after the band members wanted to sell the song "Light My Fire" to a Buick commercial and shit like that. And you know Jim Morrison he didn't want to sell to commercial masses, so that's the reason why the "Strange Days" song came. You know, which I felt that was kind of unique. I never really knew that. So they're very dope song, "Strange Days."
Then it was dope, nice beat, the bass line, the guitars. It has like a real trippy vibe to it, to start the album off. And the lyrics that Morrison sings, Strange Days, I found this, Strange Days, I've tracked this down. Thought I was good. Real dope song to start everything off with.
Exactly and shit, man. Like I don't know, man. Like with this fucking album, they were on some. I'm not gonna say too much, but they were just beginning with this first song. You should already know this gonna be on some shit.
Man.
Now we get to one of my favorite songs off this album, "Your Lost Little Girl." Woo! Man, Robbie's organ riff, like like it just made this whole fucking song, man.
Yeah.
Very dope song, very dark song. Just that the way that beat is, you know what I'm saying? There's this one lyric I like when he says, "I think you know what to do. Impossible, yes, but it's true. I think you know what to do. Sure that you know what to do." Like just basically say you know what you're doing, even if you say you don't know what you're doing. If you know what I mean and shit.
Right. Right.
And yeah, man. He named this. They named this poem after the poem by William Blake called "A Little Girl Lost" and shit. Cause you know, like I said before, their deep understanding of poetry and shit. You know, so that's what I got from "Your Lost Little Girl." One of my favorite songs off this album. Very underrated song too.
I think it's definitely a dope song, one of my favorites. It's real. It has like a somber tone to it, like you said, it's dark. Melodic. The guitar start off the track. Morrison is singing. He says, "You're a lost little girl. Tell me who are you? Impossible. Yes, but it's true." Nice guitar solo as well on the song. I feel like he's singing about like like a lost little girl. Like similar to how Nas talked about Black Girl Lost on It Was Written.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just like a story within that song. I thought it was a real dope track.
Yeah, man. Definitely a nice comparison about that Nas song and shit like that. Um, yeah, man. Like I wonder if this sounds like a very like unique stripper song and shit. Like I can picture Quentin Tarantino using this for like a movie or some shit like that.
Kill Bill.
For real.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that being said, that's your lost little girl. Next track is Love Me Two Times. Man, this was a single off the album and shit like that. This was a very rare song that Jim Morrison did not contribute any written. He didn't like contribute any writing to this song and shit, which I felt that was kind of unique and shit. Cause I always thought he wrote this song, but I think
Right.
this was mostly written by Robbie and Ray and shit. But yeah, Love Me Two Times. This is definitely a very dope song, very controversial song too, because a lot of people really didn't know what this song was about because they thought it was talking about like lust or sex and shit like that. And it was just like, even the title alone, Love Me Two Times, baby. Like, definitely love this song right here, man. Like, a little trivia about this song, Love Me Two Times. Um, with this song, Ray Manzarek actually played the final version of the song on a harpsichord and shit like that. And he basically described it as like a most elegant instrument that one does not normally associate with rock and roll. And that's what, again, very unique with his tone and shit like that.
Right.
Definitely loved the final verse when he yelled, "Love me two times, babe!" Like, and then the guitar just goes in. Like, you should see whenever he performs this shit live too. You won't. It's a sight to be seen. Like, that live performances too, were on some other shit.
Yeah, I think it's dope, real funky, real bluesy. Um, like you said, like the when you sing the chorus, "Love me two times, baby, love me two times, girl." I ain't love me twice today, love me two times, girl. I ain't going away. Thought it was a nice song. His vocals on there were fantastic. Blends well with the track. Dope.
Facts, man. Like, Jesus Christ, like this whole fucking album, like this is only the third song off this shit, man. And next track is like a short poem called "Unhappy Girl," where very unique song. Like, he's talking about how a girl who's like really not living her life and shit like that, and how they'll grow up and spend like their adulthoods regretting the chances that they not regretting like they didn't live life when they were young and shit. And that song is
Right.
very relevant in today's culture too, because with all these fucking girls getting pregnant early and shit like that, getting pregnant like 15 and 16, just wasting their whole fucking life and shit. They end up regretting the mistakes that they made when they were young and shit, cause
Right.
they think if they just throw that pussy all that time and shit. Every time they just want to throw that pussy around and shit, but it's no issue with that. So,
True.
little trivia is that like with the keyboard that Ray did, he actually looped the keyboard riff backwards and shit with this song. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I thought it was good. It's yeah, like you said, it's a short track. It was nice beat. When Morrison sings "Unhappy Girl, Left All Alone," playing solitaire, playing more to your soul. I like that part of the song, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was like a nice little song.
Exactly, man. Like, very dope song, very nice way, nice like sequencing on this fucking album and shit like that. Because the next couple of tracks kind of tells a story in a way just about a girl and stuff. So, next track is called Horse Latitudes. This song was pretty okay. This song was pretty okay and shit. It was kind of a confusing song at first because I didn't know what a horse latitude was. I had to do some research,
Right.
and it basically is talking about the cargo. I think like describing like how can I put this? How can I put this? Hold up, damn, I have to look it up because fuck, I thought I can remember. Oh yeah, it's like the ocean regions between like the 30 degrees and 35-degree latitudes that the 18th century sailors used to just throw their horses overboard and stuff like that. So
Right.
I definitely love the lines where he says, um, poised, delicate, pause, consent, in mute nostril agony, careful of flying, and sealed over, and he just screams it out and shit. Like, and just the whole instrumentation just goes fucking chaotic and stuff, you know.
Yeah. I didn't write it. I didn't quote anything. Wasn't there like a man on the song talking about like little tiny monsters and shit?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, like he was
I
talking.
mean, I was confused by the song.
You said what?
The song totally confused me. I was just confused by the lyrics.
Yeah, like he's very abstract with his shit, and this is like probably one of the most abstractual pieces he's ever done so far. But
Got it.
he'll say some shit like fucking burn your corpse in hell or some shit like some off the wall shit. Like next track, Moonlight Drive. This is actually my favorite song off this album. This was actually one of the first songs that Jim Morrison wrote, and you can tell Jim Morrison wrote this song and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking, he's just talking about, taking this girl swimming to the moon, like very psychedelic, very tripped out beat, like dun 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 dun, like, and then all of a sudden that, like I was just like, that shit's just so ill and shit like that. Just the way the organ was just carrying out through the whole fucking song and stuff like that. One line I liked was when he says, where's that shit at? He says, and that lap against our side, nothing left open and no time to decide. We've stepped into a river on our moonlight drive, and then it just did that dun dun dun, and like that weird psychedelic kind of shit. Very dope song and stuff like that. Love that song. Love that song. One of my favorite Doors songs. Period.
Yeah, nice guitar solo in the song, and the pianos, the beat, the whole vibe of the song. I like the lyrics where he sings "Let's swim out tonight, love. It's our turn to try." And I just thought it was a dope song. Definitely one of my favorites on the album. And very definitely enjoyed the song.
Yeah, man. It. You ever heard that song by Chris Brown? Look at me now.
Yeah,
I don't know, but the beat kind of sounds similar. I don't know if they sampled it or not, though. I doubt it, but it kind of sounds similar and shit.
the joint with Buster.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he was inspired by the song.
Interesting, like very
Yeah,
interesting.
right.
But yeah, that's Moonlight Drive for y'all. Next song, People Are Strange. Yeah, another one of my favorite songs. Another one of their signature songs. This was written when Jim Morrison was kind of going through like a little depression state and shit, and it's like he couldn't really trust the people around him and whatnot. So yeah, that's one thing he wrote about this line. He's like, people are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven and when you're down. Like that's some fucking real. That's some fucking real shit. If you decipher everything he was saying on that, you can just that's some real shit he was saying. Because you really can't trust the people who call your friends and stuff, because you have those certain friends that those motherfuckers won't be there when you're going through your little crisis and shit. But next thing you know it, they'll be the first motherfuckers. Let's say if you have your own dinner and shit, they'll be the first motherfucker in the front of the line wanting to have their own fucking plate and shit. But they won't contribute nothing to that shit. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that bullshit. And I had to cut one of my motherfuckers off. Had to cut a motherfucker off because he was doing that fucking shit. So you learn shit the hard way. That's one thing. That's one thing I have to say.
I definitely feel you. And I never had that problem personally in real life, not counting these internet niggas, but in real life, I never had that problem with friends and, having to cut them off. And it was either I was cool with you or I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel you on that. And I feel what Morrison is saying on the song. I know this song, I've heard this song so many times, growing up because of the Lost Boys movie, because I was like, a 80s classic, one of my favorite movies. And I didn't know it was the Doors. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is the song they played at the end of the Lost Boys movie. Right after they Corey Feldman and Corey Haim's character killed the master vampire,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, though the grandfather comes back home. I think they went out on a date, and then you know he he looks at the whole house and it's like a wreck, and they I forgot what he said, the line that he said, and then it goes off and like he closes the door in their face, and then the song comes on. So I was like, I know this song, not knowing it was a Doors, but definitely like the song, the lines that he says, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one man busy your name. I love that shit.
Right.
Just a great song, man. Definitely one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, most definitely a classic song when it comes to Doors and shit. And I think there was actually a promotional clip of this song, if I'm not mistaken, too. So I'll post it on the description once I finish editing this video. Alright. Now we got to My Eyes Have Seen You. Whew! Another classic song that I felt like Robbie and Ray just took the song to another level. Especially when they had that little da na 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 na, and then fucking Morrison just screaming, "My eyes have seen you!" Like, just screams that whole fucking shit. Just goes crazy towards the end. Let them photograph your soul. Memorize your alleys on an endless row. Endless row. Like, whoo, that shit's fucking fire, man. Like, I don't know. That song should have been that song should have been a single as well too, but who knows?
Right.
Fucking dope album.
Definitely, real fast paced track. I like the guitars. The beat on it is dope. The lyrics that Morrison sings when he says, "My eyes have seen you, free from disguise, sailing on the city under television skies." Just some dope, vivid lyrics. You know what I mean? And definitely like the song.
Yeah, man. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. I just felt like, when it comes to fucking Robbie, I feel like he's definitely one of the most underrated guitarists that doesn't get his fucking shine. Because when it comes to the Doors, I love Jim Morrison. Don't get me wrong, I love Jim Morrison. But I feel like people should recognize, the contribution that Robbie, Ray, and John all made and shit. Because it's kind of like the Jimi Hendrix Experience effect and shit. How motherfuckers don't recognize Mitch and Noel. Like, I love Jimmy.
Right.
But Mitch and Noel definitely laid down some dope bass and drums on that fucking album and shit. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. Especially the fact that motherfuckers had a fucking organ as a hard rock band. Like, what other motherfuckers was doing the organ and shit? But, yeah, man. Alright, that's My Eyes Have Seen You. Next track, I Can't See Your Face in My Mind. Another stellar track from this album and stuff. Again, not really one of my favorites, but not a bad track as well. Like, very trippy lyrics, he's fucking talking about carnival dogs consume the lines. I can't see your face in my mind. Like, very dope song and shit. Morrison at his best when it comes to like the imagery, visualizations and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was dope. Nice melodic melody, mid-tempo track. The lyrics that he sings, I can't seem to find the right lie. He said something about I can't seem to something in Insanity's horse. Adorn the sky, can't seem to find the right lie. Real trippy track.
For real, man. Like, a lot of their trippier tracks was mostly like in the beginning. Like, I would say the first 2-3 albums and shit. But I'm gonna talk about that when I talk about Waiting in the Sun, possibly this week too. So stay tuned on that one. And the last track, When the Music's Over. Man, I don't even know where to begin with this fucking track. It's kind of similar to what they done with the end on the self-titled album, but I feel like this one is more epic. Like, they were inspired, I think like Ray said, like, they were inspired by the organ intro by Herbie Hancock's The Watermelon Man. And so with this song, it's actually split up into like 5 parts. Like, turn out the lights, dance on fire, cancel my subscription, what have they done to the earth, Persian night, return to the main themes and shit. So very dope song, very theatrical. I love lines when he says like, I love the lines when he says like, "We want the world and we want it now." It's like he just goes fucking in on this fucking track and shit, man. Very dope track. One of my
Right.
favorites, probably my third or second favorite song off this album. Very psychedelic, very dark, gothic. Everything about the Doors is on this fucking song.
Definitely, real dope song. It has like a quirky melody, nice beat, nice guitars, melodic. You know, when Morrison sings, "For the music is your special friend. Dance on fire as it intends. Music is your only friend until the end." And thought it was good. And you know, it like the track like slows down like at like after like 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then it picks up like again. It picks up again like during like the 8 minute mark or whatever. I thought that was dope. You know, it's a real dramatic song and to close out the album with.
Exactly.
That was great, great song.
I agree, man. Like that's the fucking Strange Days albums. Overall, very good album, very dope album. A lot of people have went on to say like this is their best studio album to date. I can't argue with that, but there's a couple of other albums I like for different reasons, which I'll save my thoughts on those later. With this album, you can definitely tell like the band chemistry more tighter than ever and shit. The organ, the drums, the bass, everything. The instrumentation was just unique, creating like a different atmosphere with the group. I definitely felt like Morrison was definitely at his best with this album and shit vocally. Man, like not enough words can say about this album and shit. I would definitely give it to 5 mics and shit. Must have in your collection. And they recently re-released this, the 50th anniversary of this album too, so still in print.
Yeah, I think it's dope. Like I said, it's my first time hearing any of their albums. I thought it was dope. Real, it represents the sound of that time during like the mid to late '60s, and real psychedelic and nice beat songs, melodies. I love it. I thought it was dope. Definitely will cop it.
Yeah, man. I know you'll probably like their first album a lot more and shit too. So, but just gradually work with their discography.
Right.
And yeah, that's the fucking Strange Days album. That lasted quicker than I thought. Damn. Other than that, this Tuesday, y'all, we're gonna talk about the Star Child album right here.
Yeah. I just listened to that this morning actually. I thought we was doing it tonight.
Yeah, because I had like I said, I had an interview. I definitely had an interview I was at earlier and shit, made some business moves and stuff. And then also I forgot I had to go to an event tomorrow night too, so I was like Tuesday afternoon before I go to my class, we'll most definitely do this album and shit because I still have to re-listen to this album as well too. So and also this week I'm going to do a trash review on Lupe Fiasco's Lasers album. So yeah, that's going to be a struggle.
Wow.
Shit. Yeah, because like I think I was having a discussion with somebody, and I said my opinion. I was just like I like Lupe, but realistically, he just has two great albums, and the rest is just hit or miss right after and shit. But you try to make it seem like Lupe's like the greatest rapper and shit. Shit. But no shade taken.
I think it was. I mean, I like the Ladies album. I just think it was too commercialized for him. Because that's not his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like even like when he decided to start working with MMG, I'm like him and Rick Ross. I can't see that.
No, him and Trey Songz was an abomination.
Right. Well, that's the label. That was he had his issues. He had a boycott and had the fans boycott in front of the building and stuff. That was all over Twitter when that happened. But I just think it was too commercialized for him. I'm like, this is not Lupe. This is him trying to go for radio. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, I thought it was okay. It's not like one of his best albums. I prefer Food and Liquor. But I just felt like that's like, well, that was his way of trying to get radio play.
True. Because like when it comes to Food and Liquor and the Cool, I can listen to those all damn day and shit.
Right. Right.
Even Tetsuo and Youth, that was okay too. That
Uh-huh.
was okay. I wasn't really too big on that as much, but
Right.
Food and Liquor 2 was trash. All those beats was garbage in my opinion.
I don't even remember that. I heard that album once because they sampled the Pete Rock beat and Pete Rock didn't like it, and that was like a big thing between him and Pete. So
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was also, believe it or not, I actually heard that Lil Kim's Trash Yet 9 album and stuff. So
Was it good?
I'll put it to you this way. The first song was called Pray For Me. I'll just leave it.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that. The first song was called Pray For
Yeah,
Me.
I mean, Kim, big up to Kim. I just she not making no more good material no more.
Nah, nah, man, nah. I mean, hardcore is it for me. I'm sorry.
Classic, I love it.
Hardcore and the Conspiracy, Junior Mafia. That was it for me.
Yes.
Like y'all can
Definitely.
have your Notorious K.I.M. Y'all can have your La Bella Mafias. Y'all y'all can have her. Y'all can have her Faith Evans wigs or hairstyle, whatever. I don't care. She had a. Everyone's only talking about that song she did with OT Genesis and the City Girls and shit too. So it's like I just had to hear it for myself. I was like, damn, this is trash. Other than that, you heard that new Gangster album yet?
Yes, I did. Love it. I'm definitely getting it when it drops on CD.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I like the way that they brought back the members of the Gangstar Foundation for the album. Big Shug is on there, and J to hear J Rule back on a Primo track in like 20 something years. It was crazy. And they have Group Home is back is on there. To hear Nitty Scott is on there. I think she's an underrated female MC. I like that. I think they. I don't know how long Primo had these vocals from Guru, but it seemed like he never left. Like it just seemed like a brand new, like a fresh, brand new gangster album. Like he was here, yesterday. And definitely already one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah, I didn't really finish hearing the whole album, so I'm not gonna give my own opinions right off the bat. But so far, some of the beats were pretty good. Some of the beats was just like, but let me hear the whole thing. But according from an article I read, he was going through like a lot of shit with the whole Solar mess, cause Solar had the rights to like a lot of his vocals and shit. So I think he's gonna drop
Right.
another. I think he's gonna drop another posthumous album too.
That would be. Well, you mean like a Jasmine Taz?
No, no, no. I think like another Gangstar posthumous album from what I looked up, but I could be wrong on that.
I feel you.
Me personally,
I thought it was good. I think it's a nice. Mhm.
I said me personally, I was just saying I wish he would have had some unreleased Gangstar songs like not touched, just from like authentically from the '90s and shit, like some unreleased shit from maybe Daily Operation, Hard to Earn, Moment of Truth wouldn't be too bad. I mean, just stuff. I thought it was gonna be
Right.
stuff like that, but
Right.
I thought it was gonna be something like that, but oh
Well,
well.
I mean, like the labels that they were on, like EMI and Virgin, like aren't they like gone? So I mean, maybe they don't have the permission to release those songs.
True, true. I
I
think
mean, so it's like there's so many like shelved albums that probably will never see the light of day. She Ali's second album is still shelved by Def Jam have the masters to those. They'll never come out with that. So I mean,
oh wow.
a lot of these record labels that used to be around before during the '90s, they're all gone now. So I mean, that could be a issue. There's so many things. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you probably have to get like permission from Google's estate to release that stuff as well.
Mhm.
You know, but I mean, I thought it was like a proper way to for the fans. Like it's like similar to what Tribe did with their album. I think it was a proper way to thank the fans and to like give a proper send off to the artists. to Fife and then to Guru. I thought it was dope, and I think it's good. I mean, I don't. It's too early to say, where it ranks with the other gangster albums, but I think it was a good album.
Hmm. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, who else? Westside Gun dropped some new shit too.
That was great. Hitler Race from Med 7, love it. Lucha Brother, that's my favorite one. Him and Currency and Benny's on that joint.
Yes.
Fire. Fire. I like Part 7 more than I like Part 6.
Yeah, man. Part 6 was dope too. I heard. I'm just really just listening to that shit like slowly but surely because I just finished listening to Benny's shit not too long ago,
Right.
you know. So my knowledge might not be as strong as y'all, but at the same time, I'm really getting into Griselda
Right.
slowly and shit.
Yeah, listen to that. The new Danny Brown album, I thought that was dope.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And I never, yeah, I never listened to Danny Brown. Well, I know of him, but I never listened to his stuff until now. Q-Tip did a couple of beats and he executive produced the album. I thought it was dope. Like he's not yelling and screaming like he usually do.
Mhm.
I think that's a dope album. Who else? The Black Moon album. I checked that out. That was dope.
Wait, Black Moon dropped a new album?
So Black Moon.
Oh nigga, no one told me about this shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, Rise of the Moon. Yeah,
Oh shit.
dope out. They got Method Man is on the track. They got Smith and Wesson, Rockers Monster, Tech is on a track with him. It's a dope album. It's dope, and they have 5 Footer. He's rapping more on a lot of the tracks.
Yes.
It's something that he wasn't doing in the past.
Okay. I always thought
Yeah.
Black Moon had never dropped a bad album, in my opinion. I don't care what no one says. Yeah, I even fuck with the Warzone people. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Warzone is dope. That's the only sophomore album from them that I like. I mean, I didn't like OGC sophomore one and Helter Skelter.
What about the Smith and Wesson one? Or what?
Smith and Wesson one, that was cool. That had some joints on there. But like I said, I still feel like the first wave of their albums were like the cornerstone of their label.
Right.
Definitely. Always been a fan of theirs and shit. So
Yeah, man. Like I said before on that fucking boot camp
Yeah.
boot camp review, that For the People album,
Mhm.
trash. Like trash. And I it pains me to say it, but I try to give the album a chance. I really did.
Right.
I try to give it a chance, but it's Night. I'll put it to you this way: if the Night Riders original version with Aaliyah was on that fucking album,
right.
it would have been a passable album. That's all I want to say on that.
Right.
It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Like Night Riders, man. That whew. Especially that Ninth Wonder remix, man. Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
Definitely. I heard Smith and Wesson going back in the studio with Ninth Wonder. So
Oh great. Then we hear Big Pooh like bitching about Ninth Wonder and shit.
hey, he got a point. For I mean, that's your group, and you want to ditch them and do other shit with other people. I don't get that.
I mean,
At
this point, I love Little Brother, but at this point, we just have to accept the fact that Ninth is never going to come back to Little Brother. Like that
Well,
one
I mean,
moment.
My whole thing is like be honest. Like if you're not fucking with them, then come on and say that. Like don't be on their document. They had a documentary for this album. He's on their documentary acting like everything is cool, but he's nowhere to be found on the album. And then when you see the interview that they gave, Fonte was just calling his ass out. So I'm like, well then it's not a reunion then.
Shoot. All I just have to say is this: there's always two sides to a story.
Of course, definitely.
Always two sides to a
Correct.
story.
You know that.
Because motherfuckers, they like to believe just one side these days and just end up falling flat on their
Exactly.
asses. Because shit.
Exactly.
So tomorrow I'm officially getting back vinyl and CD shopping. That's been about 3 months.
Oh.
Yo, look what Ashley sent me for my birthday, yo. This chick. Look. You see it?
Nah, I don't see you.
Hold on, hold on. You say you don't see it?
Okay, I see you now.
Okay. Look.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's out of print too.
For real, like a
That's
motherfucker.
dope.
Yo, I was like, yo, you son of a. That's that candlelight dinner music right there.
Shout
Let
out
me
to
stop.
Ashley.
For real. About to go CD and vinyl shopping tomorrow and shit. Shit. I'm trying to get some James Brown. I'm trying to get James Brown the Big Payback on some real shit, you know.
Right.
Cause lately I've been in the James Brown mood lately. I don't know why.
Right.
What else is happening in the hip hop? Oh yeah, so J. Cole might drop a new album next year. The Fall Off, some shit like that.
Yes, I did hear about that. I heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like J. Cole. I've always liked J. Cole, so I want to wait and hear what he got.
For real. Shout out to the sis Tiff dropping a comment on the chat and shit. Shout out to the sis. What's up, Ashley, on the chat too? What's up to her? Just
Ashley, what up?
shout out. Thank you for that birthday present. Thank you so much. Oh shit. Yeah, I might have to end this off soon because my video output is getting low and shit. Fuck. Yeah, that's the thing about the software and shit. Like you have to watch the signal of the video and shit. So
Yeah.
it's I still gotta get used to it, but you know me. Nothing stopping me at times. You know me. But alright. What was I about to say? What was I about to say? Oh yeah. I'm definitely going to also talk to you about. I have to also talk to you about the thesis questions and stuff too. So, cause I'm doing actually a thesis on female rappers in hip hop. Accordingly, like my advisor wants me to talk about that. So, that's why I'm cutting back on the YouTube shit lately. Like I've been doing like few videos. Like I make sure I do like 2 videos here and there. Shit. So. Yeah, man, cause I know you have a good knowledge on female rappers and like the early days of hip hop. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many. I just saw a list like last week about these cats made like a top 20 female list, and they forgot so many other people. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. I'm like Nicki Minaj. Come on now. Don't get me started on all that, man. I already call her Arya. Like, we're not gonna go there and have me call her Nicki and then she in her feelings too.
Well.
You know.
Shit.
Nicki top 20 all time though. Come on now.
Like I said, she's not in my top 20. Believe me.
She's not in my top 50. Let alone top 20.
Like I'm not the biggest Nicki fan, but at the same time, she drops a dope verse here and there, like that Monster verse from Kanye. That was a hot verse.
It seemed like they were just like, I'm like, yo, if y'all gonna mention all the females, then just do that. Don't say top 20 and then you're forgetting out Bahamadia.
Wait, and Bahamadia was on the list?
Lady of Rage and Heather B. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, nah. That list is fraudulent.
Not that they didn't have Lady of Rage. I mean, I know Necessary Roughness was whack, but still.
Crazy.
Shit. I know you like that. I know you like that album, but
I like the album. The album is not a classic though. I never said it was a classic. I just feel like they tried to appease both coasts, and I just feel like it should have just been G-Funk, and that's it. I don't feel like Primo could have. I mean, if anything, Primo could have done a remix, but to have like you have Primo and Mo B on there, and then you got Daz. You know what I'm saying? It was just too much.
I feel you. Yeah, man. I mean, there was one song I did like the one song she had with Tupac. That was a dope beat to it, but I just felt like it tried to the corruption, Necessary Roughness. They try to appeal to both coasts, and I'm just like, nah, it's a bit too early for that. I mean, it's like y'all was saying all that shit. Y'all was stomping on buildings and shit like that. I mean, fucking doing that disrespectful shit. But then all of a sudden, once Suge is locked up, I regret doing all them things. Like fuck. like how Suge was all up in the videos. All the motherfuckers was cheering him on and shit. Years later, why did he do that shit? Like, like that.
So was Nostradamus at that point, yo.
He said what?
He was Nostradamus. He saw the future, man.
Shit. And I looked up. They say he was mostly talking about Jermaine Dupri.
Really?
Yeah, they say he was mostly
But Jermaine started doing albums till like late '90s, man. You know, Puffy was already just from seeing Big Rock the Crowd. Puffy was already like had his plans in motion to be an artist.
That's
You know?
true. But hey, listen though, yeah, this video output is getting low, so I'm just gonna end it off a little right here and shit.
Alright.
Yeah, cause this shit's getting real low. Other than that, just in case y'all know, Strange Days album, must have in your collection. Stay tuned this Tuesday afternoon. We're gonna talk about a Star Child album, Tina Marie. So I can't wait to flip that.
Yeah.
With that being said, make sure y'all click that subscribe button. This is your boy Reg here.
Peace.
Peace.